Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Amber from Amber's Books and More, and today I have my February wrap up. So I managed to read 13 books in the month of February, most of which were during Contemporary-a-thon, but yeah, I have a few to get through, so let's just jump right in and get started. The first one I read was a graphic novel, and I don't have a physical copy. I I read it on Hoopla, and that is The Wicked and the Divine, Volume 6, which is the Imperial Phase Part 2. It just came out in February. I liked it. I think it took definitely a turn I wasn't expecting. But it was interesting, and I'm actually excited to see where this thing keeps going. I was starting to lose my interest a little bit, but it did kind of like wake me back up to it, and I absolutely loved it. I will be getting a physical copy eventually. So the second book I read in February was an Owl Crate exclusive cover book, and it was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I absolutely love this Owl Crate cover. 100% is the best one that they've done so far. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely love this book. I do see where it could have problems with some people, but I kind of expect that kind of thing in a fae world. So I definitely understand that a lot of people have mixed feelings about this, but I absolutely loved it. The way that the characters were written was really hard to do, and I think Holly Black did a fantastic job on this, and I highly recommend it if you enjoy fae and you enjoy that cruel side of most fae stories. It's no Sarah J. Maas. It puts her fae out of water, if I'm being perfectly honest. So the third book that I read in the month of February was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This book, oh my god, I had really honestly heard nothing about this book. I wasn't around on BookTube when all the hype was on it, so like there's like a twist, but I didn't even know that there was a twist, so I wasn't actively seeking out a twist, but it blew my mind. It made me cry ugly tears, and I loved it so much. And this is the exclusive edition that I got at Barnes & Noble, which is signed, which I super appreciated. Like after I read it, I was like, oh, I love it so much. But definitely 5 out of 5 stars. So the fourth book, I'm gonna quit counting because I'm losing count, but the next book I read in February was The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. This one was one that intrigued me because it's basically like there's these the chosen ones trope, and these are kind of the other people around, like the background characters that you never know what they're doing. So I thought this was really clever, and the beginning of each chapter, it has like a little bit of what the chosen one is doing. Like let me give you just a quick example. Like it says, the chapter the 9th, in which Satchel visits the police station looking for her uncle. And it's like telling her, like, she touches the ambulance and sees a flash of the handsomest boy she's ever seen, and all this kind of stuff. And then it's also got blue pages, guys. Oh my gosh. And it's yellow on the inside. Sorry, had to say that. Anyway, but then you see what like the normal people are doing while this is going on, and it's really funny because there's one sentence that I actually laughed out loud, where it was like, he told her she was beautiful, so she knew she could trust him. And I was like, oh my god, he plays on tropes so well in this book, and I highly recommend it. I didn't love it 100%, but I did like it a lot, and I gave it 4 stars. The next book I read, I got at a signing. There's some stuff happening in Dallas lately, and it is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. These end pages, guys, are just so flippin' beautiful. But she did sign this. I went out to the Hazelwood, to Amber, and I really loved meeting her. She was such a sweet person. So this is like a dark take on fairy tales. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically this girl finds out that, okay, so her grandmother had written these weird fairy tales, but it's like out of print, nobody could find it. And then her grandma dies, and her mom gets like kidnapped, and she has to go save her. That's all I'm going to tell you. So this was also an Owl Crate book. I do have the green Owl Crate book as well. It'll come up in a haul soon, but I really love the black cover a lot, and it's just so shiny and beautiful, and I love this book. 4? I either gave it 4 out of 5. 4 or 5, I can't remember. Sorry if lighting or anything changed. My battery overheated. So let's just keep on rolling through this and hopefully get done before it does it again. So the next book I read was for the Book Hangover Book Club, and it was American Queen. This is an erotic novel, and whew, let me tell you something. It was steamy. Although, spoiler alert a little bit, but there is a scene in the book. I won't tell you where it is or who it's about, but one girl basically takes two in the same hole, and it traumatized me so much. Ow. But 4 out of 5 stars, because other than that it was really, really good, you know what I'm saying? So the last book that I read before Emoji-a-thon started was Wires and Nerve by Marissa Meyer. This is a graphic novel series that follows the same characters as the Lunar Chronicles, and this was the last edition of this, which makes me so sad it was only a duology because I loved it so much. Okay, so let's get into my Emoji-a-thon wrap up. So I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books during Emoji-a-thon, which, yay, I'm really excited about. So let's just go through the challenges that I did get because I didn't read all the same books that were on my TBR. Whoops. So I did read for a graphic novel. I read Plastic by Doug Wagner. I gave this 3 stars. It was just weird. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. It's crazy. So then my pick for a diverse read, I read The Upside of Unattached by Becky Albertalli. I believe I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I absolutely love the main character, Molly. She is an overweight girl that has all these unrequited crushes, and then suddenly she finds herself kind of having 2 options. And so basically she has 2 mothers, which are lesbian. Her sister is lesbian. And there's some also bisexual characters. There are some gay characters. There are different races. There's a lot going on in this book, and it was so good. I think that it was better than Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, and I hope they make this one into a movie too because it was so good. You know what? I think actually my Plastic, I think I used that one as pink on the cover because the picture of the face was pink. I don't know. But either way, I also read Giant Days Volume 1, which is a contemporary graphic novel as well. This is about some girls in college. I thought it was really cute. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to continue on with the series and probably get the physical copy soon. So 4 out of 5 stars on that one. And then like I'm losing track of which books I used for which one. But the next one I think I did for a hyped book. But either way, it was Ramona Blue by Julie Murphy. I guess this one kind of also has pink up on the cover. I don't know. But this one was about a character who has been openly gay, openly lesbian from the time she was like 12, I think. And then an old friend of hers, which is a guy, he moves back into town. She finds herself having feelings for him. She's not really sure what that means. Like, is she bisexual? Is this just a one-time thing? Because she definitely still is attracted to girls. This was really good. I really enjoyed it. I loved a lot about Ramona Blue, about her character. And I loved a lot about what it says about, you know, I might have used this as diverse. I don't know anymore. I forget. But either way, this was 4 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved this so much. I liked it. And it is signed by Julie Murphy because she was at the event that I went to. And so she wrote, Amber, float until you can swim. Yes, I loved signed books. And then I moved on to Giant Days Volume 2. 4 out of 5 stars. Really enjoyed it. Not sure which challenge it met. What am I doing with my life? This is the last book I read for the month and the last book I read for Contemporary-a-thon, and I know which one this one was for. This one was for my Dark and Taboo Contemporary. Oh, and it was Identical by Ellen Hopkins. And I'm sorry this is like so shiny. Let me, oh yeah. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so Ellen Hopkins writes books in poetry format. So as you can see, they are poems. Some of them make pictures. So like this one here, it says, what could the gossip be? Inquiring minds want to know. The E is actually the poem, and then inquiring minds want to know is the E for inquiring. I gave this 4 or 5 stars. I can't remember. I absolutely love this. I had no idea I actually would love reading poetry fiction. I never knew that was even a thing, but I did absolutely love it. And of course, if you watched my Emoji-a-thon TBR, which if you haven't, go check up here. It's right up below, right here. And yeah, this was about 2 identical twins, and it was hard to read because there was like basically triggers for everything, like eating disorder, abuse, rape, drug abuse, committed suicide, or like suicide, not committed suicide, but tried to commit suicide. There's like incest and drinking, and there's a lot. There's a lot. But anyways, that is all 13 books that I read for the month of February, and I'm actually really happy with that number because I've also been working on my book and doing some edits, so I read a little slower, and I actually have in the last like week and a half been in a bit of a slump because I finished reading this book like a week and a half ago and I haven't read anything since. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. How many books did you read in February? Let me know down below if you've read any of these, and if you think that I should, like, what I should read based on these that I liked. Because I actually had a really good month. I liked basically everything I read. When does that ever happen, right? That's actually been a really good year for me. Weird. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. So until next time, have a great day wherever you are, and I love you. Bye.